Hello there, chummers, and welcome back to the Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast, a Shadowrun 4th Edition actual play podcast. It's been a while, and I apologize for the delay in getting new episodes out. We've had another episode of Technomancer's Wrecking Havoc, aka yours truly once again managed to lose a session. Fortunately, not too impactful. Prokop hired the team to rescue Rigor Mortis from the Warehouse Alliance. Grace did some astral recon, and the rest of the team scouted the Warehouse Alliance facility in Puyallup in the physical. Grace discovered some truly unsettling things in the warehouse, as well as quite a bit of security. And of course, she charmed some watcher spirits. But the team has hatched a plan. In episode 27, we find the team on a roof in Puyallup, overlooking a Warehouse Alliance facility. Boxer does some sniping. Cecile levitates ice. Grace twirls a hapless guard. And Deandra drives. As always, featuring Beth as Grace, aka Nightingale, and Val as Ollie, aka Boxer. Veronica as Cecile, aka College Girl, and Kat as Deandra. It's really whiz that you are joining us, and I hope you enjoy this episode. If you do, please tell your friends and leave us a positive review. We are available on most podcast services, YouTube, iTunes, etc. You can also find a link to our Discord server in the podcast description and on the YouTube channel. We would love to hear from you, and we share a lot of in-game pay data there as well, such as maps, intros, fluff, and character stories. On other topics, the secretive guild of Shadowrun podcast and content creators that I may or may not be part of invites you cordially to check out the great pay data that is being created for you on the Matrix. Today I'm going to reminisce about some of the first Shadowrun content that helped rekindle my love of the game. The Arcology podcast, the Neo Anarchist podcast, and Radio Free Detroit. The Arcology podcast is, in my opinion, a kind of Goliath of the Shadowrun podcasting scene, created by Mr. Johnson himself, with literally hundreds of episodes recorded. It encompasses an actual play campaign and also reviewed published content, did explainers on rules, and invited notable Shadowrun personalities on for Q&A sessions. The Neo-Anarchist podcast by Opti is both a lore dump with each episode covering a year in the Shadowrun timeline and a commentary on the history and Opti's own experiences, and a bit of a radio show as well. For anyone looking for a good dive into the lore of the game, there's no better place to start. Radio Free Detroit is more of a radio call-in show and audio storytelling taking place in Detroit. It covers lore, questions of mechanics, and mixes in a very entertaining dose of audio drama featuring several Shadowrun podcast notables, including Opti. All three of these shows are highly recommended by myself. Thank you again, chummers. Don't forget, watch your back, conserve your ammo, don't let your magic support get geeked, and never ever make a deal with a dragon. So, where we last left our intrepid adventurers, our heroes, they were standing on a rooftop in Puyallup, which they had accessed surreptitiously, or so they thought, until they saw a drone circling overhead, which may or may not be hostile. In fact, they were unable to determine its reason for being there. However, from their vantage point, they are overseeing a private prison slash warehouse and trucking transshipment facility from which they intend to rescue an inmate who is a friend of one of their companions at this time. And the plan was that somebody would use magic to levitate ICE into the recreational yard to grab the target of the rescue attempt and levitate him back out over the wall. And Dinder would act as a getaway driver and whisk them to safety, while Boxer would stand overwatch with a sniper rifle in case the guard in the guard tower across from you decided to start shooting. And Grace was going to provide magical overwatch and support.
Moral support. I mean, magic support.
Oh, yes, and we shouldn't forget that the pony has a lot of stun damage and is feeling kind of bad.
Right. And Cecile, aka College Girl, was going to do her best not to get her shoes dirty.
That's always the plan, Paul?
You also can't crank them. They're authentic leather.
No, they're just real cotton, okay? She's not rich enough to afford real leather.
Going to do her best to keep her hair from getting mussed.
She would actually probably be okay with her hair. She could just magic that back.
Can't she also magic back clothes?
She was doing her best to appear stylish on the rooftop in Puyallup, which was extremely difficult to do in terms of this is a volcanic ash hellhole.
Oh yeah, no, she's gonna have a rough time cleaning clothes. All right, and now a recap of the plan. We hope to get our target. What's his face?
Rigor Mortis.
Ash Jack.
What's
Rigor
his
Mortis,
face?
aka Matthew Vashon.
What's his face? We need to get into the recess area, and then we lift ICE over, slap the head jammer on, and lift them both back up and over the wall.
That's right. You guys were feeling very paranoid about cranial cortex bombs.
I mean, wouldn't you? Only takes one.
Am I the person holding the jammer at this moment, or do we have another?
Presumably you would have already given it to ICE. Although I don't know where ICE keeps all this shit. I guess men have pockets.
He doesn't have anything.
Oh, I'll give him it, unless I'm giving it to Dinder.
All right, so ICE is currently holding a head jammer in one hand and a shotgun in the other hand.
I'm now imagining that, like, the sixth world has done away with pockets for all people. That's a premium feature.
It's a subscription feature.
Honestly, in Shadowrun, the corporations probably could turn off your pockets.
Smart clothes digitally lock your.
It'll sew itself back up with your hand still in it.
This is technically something they could do.
Your credit card number has expired. Your pockets have been deactivated.
You have to fucking cut your jacket up just to get at your stuff.
Oh no! It fuses at like multiple points within the pocket.
And
if you disabled your knife.
If you cut your clothes up, you'll lose your deposit.
Your deposit.
Your nanowire knife has been disabled because its subscription failed as well, so it no longer has an edge.
All right, Boxer.
So you're currently all on the roof.
No. Just as we left off last time, I think Dientra and Ice went to go set up in the car.
Okay, so they've climbed down in the back into the alleyway. Which vehicle are they going to use? Are they using the
bike?
So they've got the bike with the sidecar. So
Why not the van?
Because Dinder will drive the van.
It's
Just
Grace's
won't.
van, and she's going to need it to get Boxer and Cecile out of there.
That's true.
So, is the sidecar going to fit 2 grown men?
I mean, we've established before that the bike itself fits 2 people on it. The sidecar is just for people that don't feel safe, like riding on the back of Deander's bike, which
Like
Hopefully
Ice.
would be most people.
would not include Ice.
All right. So
Ice.
you guys, the 2 of you, are standing in the alleyway. Now, all important question: what is the plan for either getting Rigor Mortis into the yard, or are you going to simply wait?
That's what I was just about to ask, Box.
Our plan was to wait.
How much time do you suppose we have?
Well, let's say that it's around noonish at this point.
Oh no. I'm not waiting for something to happen. I'm deciding whether or not I want to take the long way in or the short way in.
So it's around noonish. So if you remember right, you know that Grace's astral surveillance had indicated that Rigor Mortis is probably currently jacked in and on a work shift. So 2 things could happen. First of all, Deander, roll your security knight errant knowledge, please.
Sure. Knight errant. Two.
So you got 2, and so you're thinking to yourself as you're down there, okay, so it's around noon. This guy's probably done his first half of his shift in the machine, jacked into the machine. Probably, the persons that you're familiar with around noon, they're going to go to lunch, potentially get some yard time. If not, then the next time he would potentially be de-rigged and have access to the yard would probably be around 4:30.
Okay. I assume Deandra tells us this.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of sit there for a few minutes and be like, I don't think they know, and then I guess whatever virtual communication device we're using at this point, I'm not gonna yell up to them on the
That would be stupid.
that he's probably gonna be in the yard at 4 p.m. or at 1600.
Right?
You could always climb back up and tell them in person.
Nah.
And Boxer also over the virtual communication is offering image link to her weapon cam, which is magnified and enhanced.
So Deandere pulled out her basic ass comlink and dialed up the rest of the team and relayed this. Ice, who is standing next to her, who does not own comlink, listened intently and nodded.
Presumably Deandra just texted us.
Yes. Deandre doesn't call all the time, but sometimes she does.
She has a little bit of that old person calling.
She's the person who, like, those memes about, like, your friend suddenly and aggressively calling you. Like, she's that person. She's the cause of that.
Okay, so we have until about 4. Boxer.
Or potentially at noon if the guy gets a lunch break.
I am going to be lying down on this lovely rooftop here. Make sure
It is
no one
ash and
bothers me.
soot covered.
Oh, great.
Your clothes, your houndstooth blouse is going to be, or jacket
She
is
does
going
not
to be
have
absolutely...
that yet. She is still in her basic bitch clothing.
The same clothes you've worn for the last, 2 weeks.
Let's just hand wave and say she has magic cleaning.
This roof is absolutely... Well, you guys got your laundry done when you were hanging out in Terraslar.
Oh, sure. I'm just sure she's figured out some way to do a little bit of magic,
But this roof is absolutely filthy. There's a thick layer of volcanic ash and soot.
He's still gonna have to wash it.
Yep, you're getting covered in it, no matter what you do. But if you lie down, you are going to be, yes, dirty.
I love that summary.
Boxer's
yeah,
prone.
dirty.
And I have to decide if I clean off an area with my hand, is the
Not
wind
gonna
just
work.
the wind's just gonna pull it back?
and it's sort of settling out of the atmosphere anyway. You guys are, as you are standing there, getting dirty by pure nature of being in this hellhole called Puyallup.
All right. First of all, Boxer's setting something up. She's setting up chameleon netting on the rooftop for both of them, and she's gonna ask Cecile to lie down.
Fine.
Wouldn't Grace be with them?
Yes, Grace is with us.
And Grace, she has two, and from what I understand, they're large enough to fit 3 people with just one. So,
Okay. And Paul, I am going to be I'm going to be probing the prison network in Cold Sim VR.
well, the 2 ground operatives approach. Boxer's gonna launch her drone, the Lockheed drone, and just set on a basic patrol around the building with telling it to report any approach, basically, to the building. Maybe feeding it some basic, like, look for this.
Does that even work if you're not a rigger?
I mean, basic commands. It's not like...
Try to just give it a command via your comlink.
Yep.
All
She
right.
has it in her head.
So as you fire up your drone, you get a warning on your comlink saying that this is a restricted area.
Mhm.
It doesn't say you can't run it, but it does say it's a restricted area. And
Is there a way to have it be directly connected? Like, put it in the PAN network?
Put it in hidden mode.
Yeah, wait. Yeah. Some part of me is like, no, that's illegal. And then I remember that's kind of the point. Yeah, she puts it in hidden mode.
so, Cecile, you do notice that there is some interference, some static here. Could be that there's some jamming going on.
Okay. Is that going to significantly affect my probing attempts? Or just something to note?
It's just something to note.
Okay.
So you're looking for what was it you were looking for again?
I'm probing the system. Long-term hacking in Cold Sim.
All right, so you're cold simmed into the matrix and you're trying to get into the server for this facility.
Yes. I'm probing the target. It's an extended test with the threshold. Extended test against the system plus firewall as the threshold. Interval test is 1 hour if done via VR.
Okay, so you're seeing, what are you seeing then? You're seeing the public access node of this facility.
Indeed. However, the interval is an hour, so are we committing to spending an hour doing whatever it is we're doing?
Yes.
Grace has no objections. She's probably like resting her poor little head.
Actually, can't you reduce your stun if you like rest for a couple hours?
You can reduce your stun if you sleep, if you rest.
How long do I have to rest for that?
Well, I would say that you're not going to be up there long enough and you're not resting enough to reduce your stun damage. It's not restful enough.
With ash falling in your eyes constantly.
All right, so you were going to roll again system plus firewall.
That's an extended test, and that's the threshold.
Okay, so your threshold is 7 hits.
Don't tell me that.
Oh, come on.
Plus 6 because I'm going for an admin account, so it's 13. Okay. Actually, hold on. I'm only going to go for a security account. I don't think I'll be able to get an admin account in time. Yep. 1! Off to a terrible start. Oh! And it's a glitch.
Not again.
It's just a regular glitch, not a critical glitch.
So for each roll, how much time is that?
It's an hour.
Yikes. All right, so an hour has passed. What are Deandira and Ice doing down in the alleyway, and what are the rest of you guys doing up on the rooftop?
I'm pretty sure we were going to like communicate when the guy entered. When he went into the yard, so me and Ice weren't just sitting outside on for like hours. So I imagine Deandira's reading a book.
Presumably in the back of the van.
I mean, she's probably sitting on her bike, helmet on, reading a book.
Like a physical
What are
book?
you doing?
She's weird. She's crazy. She's wacky.
Yep.
What are Grace and Boxer doing in this hour?
Grace is probably using baby wipes very obsessively to try and clean herself. Like, her eyes and her nose. She's probably given up on actually cleaning out her fur. She just wants her face to be clean, and she's probably still been working at it for, like, the entire time they've been waiting. Just because there's so much of the shit in her fur.
It's a never-ending job, just keeping your eyes and ears clean.
Funky, ashy ears. God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it gets caught in the
bad
fur and
Boxer.
sort of clogs up. And
Boxer wears a hood and rebooted for this purpose.
so she does. And Boxer is just sort of observing.
Yeah, she's used to this. She keeps nice and still, observant, though she's beginning to think of maybe pulling up solitaire on her comlink.
Just solitaire?
Can't be too exciting.
All right, give us another roll then.
Okay. Hopefully this one is better. 2.
All right, so another hour passes. The ash is starting to build up on Cecile as she's sitting there. Ice looks like he's taking a nap in the sidecar. Grace, you observe that the drone is no longer visible to you.
Big drone overhead?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably point as much out to the group whenever I realize that it's just gone off. It left. It ascended.
The reason Grace noticed is because Cecile's busy in Cold Sim VR. Boxer's busy observing the prison, and the two down in the alleyway aren't looking. All right, give us another roll then. If nobody else is going to do anything else.
3 hours, nothing has happened. Great.
Has it been 3? It's been 2 hours.
Well, this is going to be the third roll. Oh, wow, 3! So I'm up to 6.
Yep. Is anybody taking any actions other than waiting? All right, go for your fourth roll.
Don't think I'm gonna get it unless I edge this roll. And even if I do, that's unlikely. Another 3. So that makes 9 total.
All right, you have your security account after
I?
4 hours.
Wouldn't it be 10? 10 threshold?
Why would it be 10?
Is a +3 from security, right?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So
All right.
I'm
So you're up
just
to
shot.
9 after 4 hours. Is anybody taking any other actions after 4 hours?
Deandira has finished reading the chapter in her book and has pulled out a very old paper, started to crossword.
Oof.
Hold up, I have... Yep. Boxer has put on a sim recording in the corner of her vision.
All right. So, Deandira, you know that you remember at this time that it's 4 in the afternoon. The chances are within the next hour or so, this guy's going to probably be getting off of his work shift in the facility and have recreational time available to him. Whether he takes it or not is another question.
Well, he better take it.
Deandira is going to hit Ice with her newspaper and put it in a sidecar and text the group, eyes up. It's almost time. Like 1600 exactly.
I need a little more time to get into their system, Cecile types back.
Well, we're working on something of a fine line here, so...
Alright, Cecile's going to keep working on this until something happens, so I'm not going to roll yet, but like at the end of an hour...
Give us a roll then.
Okay. Nothing happens, then yeah. 2! That makes 11 total.
11 total, and yep. You get a little thrill as as you see your security account come together and your credentials are available to you.
All right, that's the group. Okay, I'm in. Has he come out for recess? Has anyone come out for recess?
Yes, there are several inmates in jumpsuits, sort of a dark green jumpsuit. A lot of them are wearing dark green jumpsuits. Some of them are wearing a blue-gray jumpsuits. A couple of them are, shooting hoops. A couple of others are sitting under the umbrellas playing cards.
Okay.
It is filthy weather, so, it's not exactly appealing to be outdoors right now.
Okay.
You're in Puyallup, it is January, and it is Seattle.
So we don't see Mr. Matthew or Mr. Vaughn.
You'd have to, somebody, probably Boxer, who's observing more closely, should probably make a visual perception check.
I mean, why don't I just jaunt down there astrally and look around the people? Because I've seen his aura.
You should do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna casually leave my body. Maybe even say something along those lines. Like, just, Grace, I'm gonna leave my body. And then she passes out. And she jaunts on down.
Magic.
Jaunts on down. Yeah.
Using the gun cam as a visual aid.
Yeah, so Boxer, as you're sort of observing the yard, you see a couple of people playing cards, none of whom really match the description of the person that you're looking for. You do see the guard in the guard tower across from you, seems to have his feet up on the console and is having a smoke. His rifle is leaned against the wall. He's not even really paying attention at the moment. Grace, you zip into the astral and, are immediately confronted with the dreariness of Puyallup that you've already seen, and sort of the miasma of despair and hopelessness that emanates from this place. As you get closer to the yard, basically instantaneously, and observe the auras of the people walking around, and a couple of guys trying to play basketball or stay out of the rain under the umbrellas, and one or two guys walking, there is not an aura there that you recognize.
Okay, so I don't recognize Rigor Mortis amongst them. There wasn't any warding on the building, right? That was correct?
There was no warding on the building.
There was a cafeteria, right?
There was a cafeteria on the ground floor.
Okay, well, I wanna search through these areas to see if I can find Rigor Mortis.
Okay.
If he's present.
You pop through the wall into the dining room that you had seen before, and there are several metahumans lounging around. Some of them are eating. There are a couple more behind the serving counter in the kitchen. You can tell from the auras that they are inmates / prisoners. They just have that aura to them. A variety of metahuman types. However, again, you do not see Rigor Mortis.
What about the gym then?
You slide through the kitchen and into the gym. There's a fair number of people currently in the gym, and none of them are Rigor Mortis. You do see a guard standing in the doorway right here, observing the prisoners, and he does appear to be magically active, though not observing in the astral at this time.
Okay, I want to go straight to the work bay and see if Rigor Mortis actually was moved from his pod.
Okay, do you go straight through the ceiling, or how do you get there?
I think, knowing the layout of the building, she would probably go through the floor, but maybe trying to get herself in a corner so that astral line of sight would be broken from that guard station right at the door, just in case the officer blinked into the astral for a second.
So you go back into the kitchen and then pop through the floor right about here, where you know that you'd be detected from the guard station over here. So
I meant like this corner. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so that would actually take you. Let's go back one. So you were here, or you had come through here to look into the gym, right? And there's a guard station over here and a guard. You do remember that there was a guard station here, but because the glass was opaque to you in the astral, you couldn't see anybody inside of it. So you basically floated around here and then down through this corridor and up into sort of, you said this space you want to hop into?
I was saying this corner.
Yep, so you pop up into there, and sure enough, you do see that there are the two guards that were there before are still there. One of them is a mage. He is not observing in the astral. And you see that the machines are empty at this time. The doors are open.
Mm.
You could tell before that they were occupied. So at this time, they're empty. The one that you had seen, Rigor Mortis, is empty.
Are there any like astral traces from him being in the pod when he was removed, or is it just kind of like?
It's a big jumble of astral traces. Obviously, these machines are used by different people at different times. So there's also sort of just the atmosphere and the astral in this building is unpleasant.
Foul. So I guess the next choice is I should probably go and pull back and just inform the team of what I've realized, that he is somewhere other than the yard doing something other than eating or exercising.
Okay.
I'm minorly worried.
Veronica, you have your security account. As Grace comes back and tells the team what she's observed, what are you doing with your security account?
I am going to log on and tell the team that I have access to their systems. So I'm going to go ahead and log on with my security account.
All right, you're logged on.
Mm-hmm.
The architecture is quite a bit less stylized than the headquarters architecture that you had previously attempted to log or get access to.
Right.
This is more sort of your basic corporate architecture that somebody put together without, being paid to really make it look fancy. You see that there are, obviously several branching nodes. They're labeled, and they're clearly labeled for, the workers to see, okay, this is the area, this is your commercial area where the Warehouse Alliance employees are working on contracts, setting up schedules and stuff. And then you've got the node for security systems and the node for the prison itself.
Okay. I'm going to check the prison itself.
Okay. So the prison node itself, you can see that it's going to give you access to your basic data about the prison, the inmates, the guards.
I'll check data about the inmates, specifically Matthew Valchon.
All right. He is listed in the inmates list, and he is considered, you're looking at his file, he's basically a senior inmate with some privileges. He's got a fairly decent job and standing in the prison. And he is currently, according to the roster schedule, off work.
Okay, does it give a location?
Not in his file, but you think you could probably get into maybe the security systems and take a look at the cameras in the facility?
Do they not have trackers on them? Like, if I go to the security node, is it going to have why don't I just go to the security node and see if they have trackers on the inmates?
They do. They have cameras and they have trackers, and you feel a slight chill as you realize that the trackers are connected to Cortex bombs.
Right. Okay.
And you see on the layout that inmate number 412 is currently in the prison block, in the dormitory part of the prison.
Okay. Can I disable the Cortex bomb and tracking?
Yes, you can do that.
I'm not going to. If I go to the prison node, can I assign a schedule to specifically have him go to the recess? Like, is there a forced exercise, like, schedule?
There's no forced exercise schedule, no. The only things that are really sort of mandated are the work schedules and the meal schedules. So there's designated access to the meals. The prisoners apparently can access the recreation areas at will when they're not working.
Okay. I message the team. Grace, I need you to find Matthew in the dormitories, materialize, and send a message to him that he needs to get into the recess area. Yes, that's over the group text.
Okay, so Dinder, you're getting that text too.
I also send over the text that he does have a tracker and a Cortex bomb, and they are active.
Grace just says that what do you call it? Materialization is a purely psychic effect. The cameras don't matter so long as there's no one else in the room.
And Cecile, you know from having observed the trackers, there are other people in the cell block.
Okay, so there would be other people that can see, but these would be like inmates?
Correct.
Okay, then it's fine. Whatever. Unless, I don't know, Paul, are you going to have the inmates rat on another inmate? We'll see.
All right, so Grace is going back into Astral.
Yeah.
All right. You return to the Astral and blink into the cell block right about, well, anywhere in here that you would like. And you see that the target of your efforts here is sitting at a table here, apparently rather listlessly playing cards with a fellow inmate sitting across from him.
Oh, is that within sightline of a guard?
Yes. So this is a guard area. Grace can't tell whether there are guards in there because of the glass fronting.
Well, it wouldn't go through the glass anyway, I'm pretty sure. The manifestation, but then there's also Rigor Mortis is here.
Yes, this is Rigor Mortis.
Is there another inmate like over here?
Yeah, there's another inmate sitting across from him, and they're sort of just nonchalantly or listlessly playing cards.
I'm thinking about how exactly materialization works. Would I be able to just conjure up like a board or something to tell him what I need to tell him and then poof away without seeing it? Or is it just like my body?
I think it is just your body, but like slightly ethereal.
Under the table.
Okay, but if I appear underneath the table, there's going to be that other guy who's going to be like, what the fuck?
And?
There's also the possibility that when you tell him something, that the guard will hear you speaking.
Is that how that works?
So it's actual audible.
No, it's a psychic effect only. I guess
Can
I'm
you not
asking.
just reach into his brain and tell him to go to the yard?
No, I can't. He would have to be dual-natured for me to cast my net on him through the astral, which he's not magically active, so he can't astrally perceive.
In fact, he has lost quite a bit of essence to various implants.
What about this stairwell here? Like, is its upper edge visible from like where he's sitting if he were to look over his shoulder?
Yes. So that's basically a catwalk on the second floor for a second level of cells.
So that goes upstairs.
Yes.
Personally, I think that we might just have to accept that we might be telling Rigor Mortis and another inmate.
At that point, you see Rigor Mortis make a motion and stand up and stretch and start to walk out the door.
Oh wait, where is he going?
Hang on, I'm going to drop this onto the lower level of the map.
Is he going downstairs?
He was downstairs, but looks like he's headed towards the door that goes to the cafeteria.
So he's going upstairs, right?
Nope, he went out the door here.
Okay. This area here is it unoccupied, save for him whenever he steps in?
Yes.
Grace is going to use that as her opportunity, and she's just going to appear and immediately say, so suddenly there is this small creature in front of him, and it's looking up at him quite, serious in its face, and it says, Rigor Mortis? Hi. I don't have very long to tell you anything. You need to go to the yard, right now. And then, before he can, probably say much other than, shout, or be like, what the fuck, she's gone.
Alright, so you pop up, you say that, he looks surprised and stops for a second, and then turns to look towards the window and smiles and just sort of walks over and knocks on the window and points at the big door. And the door's open and he walks out. You're still in astral here, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So you're still following him in astral, right?
Yeah, watching him, how he moves.
All right, so he sort of nonchalantly saunters out through and out into the yard.
Okay. I can see his position still, right?
Yes, you have not turned off the trackers yet.
I message Deandra and Ice that they need to go to the wall now.
I see the message and start my enemy rev and just full throttle accelerate.
All right, Ice is sitting in the sidecar. He's holding a shotgun. Boxer, as you're observing the yard, you see a man matching the description of Rigor Mortis exit and nonchalantly walk out into the middle of the yard, look around surreptitiously, and just sort of start walking around.
Group, be advised, target has exited the building.
Confirm? I can confirm.
Grace comes back to her body and gasps, and she says, I did it! I did it!
How big is the yard again?
It's pretty big.
Okay. Great.
So, are you still in Cold Sim VR?
For the moment, yes I am. However, I'm going to exit Cold Sim VR and just go AR and stay connected with my security account through AR.
Who's going to be doing the lifting?
I can be an AR and do stuff in the physical world.
In the magical world?
Well, I mean, I can cast spells, yeah, while having an AR interface.
All right, so Deandra, you're taking off on your motorcycle, and you said you're going to full throttle, and you're going to basically get out of this alley, turn around, and get out onto the main street and close to the wall?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut across lanes and just completely fuck other people over to get there.
All right, make a pilot ground vehicle test.
Ooh, fun. I should probably edge this, because why not?
Ooh.
Would kind of suck if there were a car accident and we lost.
Yeah, that would
Deandra and
suck.
Ice die in a car accident.
So, before we edge, we do have to roll a d6 to check bad luck.
Oh god. Why did you let the person with supernaturally bad luck drive?
I didn't roll a 1, so no bad luck happened. Let's see. Ground pilot craft. Edge. I rolled a 5, so everything's okay.
It says 1, but it's 1 hit, not a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I started shaking. I was so fucking worked up.
2.
All right, Dinder, you get the motorcycle up to speed in the alleyway. You see Ice hanging on with one hand while the other hand readying the shotgun, you careen around the corner, startle some small animal, probably a devil rat or similar that's been scurrying around, and out into the traffic. You hear horns blaring and tires squealing. Do make a hard left-hand turn and bring the motorcycle up to the wall with the sidecar towards the wall, facing away. Decelerate in time. Very well done. Those of you on the roof observing see all this happen. Ice just stands up in the sidecar and sort of looks expectantly.
Okay, so they're at the wall now?
Yep, they are. So they are basically right here.
Okay. And where is Rigor Mortis in the
He is walking sort of in a clockwise fashion, and he's right there.
And how close is Rigor Mortis to the edge of the wall?
He's about. He's about 10 meters from the wall.
10 meters? 10 meters.
Or
Clarify.
5 meters from the wall. 5 meters from the wall.
5? I'm fine with 10. Okay. I'm gonna metagame a little. How beat up is Grace?
Huh? Okay, let's see. I have 8 boxes of stun and 3 left on my track. So I'm kind of fucked up.
Okay.
Sorry, fragged up.
Okay. I am going to... Okay. I'm going to cast Levitate on... Can I see... Okay, so I can see... What's-his-face? Ice with the head jammer, right? Ice has the head jammer.
See Ice with the head jammer, yes.
Should we stick the Phoenix on the building at this point? Since we're doing it?
Not... does Grace ask this?
Yes. Should the Phoenix do a big distraction? Question
No, not
mark.
yet.
Okay. When? That's all she says. No period.
I'm going to cast Levitate on Ice. Okay, so that's wow. So Ice is moving fast.
Just gonna sling Ice over the wall.
Ice is moving at 20 meters per 3
my
seconds.
God.
Well, you can move him at that speed, but you don't have to move him at that speed.
I'm going to.
This has been Ice's G-Force adventure.
Wait, does G-Force act on you with Levitate?
I don't see why I wouldn't.
I imagine it does. You're just
Air-
creating a force.
Air resistance works on you at least. So I'm just going to launch Ice over the wall with the head jammer over to where Rigor Mortis is.
All right. We're rolling initiative.
Yep.
Oh no! Here
It
we
is
go!
time to roll initiative, guys. Finally.
And at the same
Finally.
At the same time, I'm going to think and disable both the tracking and the Cortex bomb in Rigor Mortis.
All right.
She used her brains.
Oh boy, I get to roll initiative.
Also the spirit.
Matrix
Her
initiative?
initiative. What's her initiative?
What?
What is my spirit's initiative?
These Watcher spirits are leftovers, aren't they?
Oh, I didn't kill them. I just I made them giggle their little brains out when they went away. They left me alone.
So I'm 6 in the turn order. I don't have a token, but
Yeah. I need to roll a couple of initiatives here too. Where's your token?
I don't have a token on the board
Why not?
because I'm on the rooftops.
No. Well, let's just put your token out.
We are incredibly disproportionate to the board.
Okay.
Yeah, the scale on this map is a little bit messed up, but that's okay. All right.
Just write not to scale and it'll be fine.
Exactly.
So I have I have 6.
Nightingale, which one of those initiatives is your initiative?
7. I rolled 7. Wait. How does this work? The initiative? Is it just what it rolls? 7.
Yep. Initiative. No modifier. God damn, Ice. But no modifier? I'm not... Yeah, I'm now audible. Okay, any modifier?
No modifiers.
Even Boxer has bad days.
Do you have any boosts or anything that you can activate, that you need to activate?
I think that can be triggered.
Like adrenaline boost or anything like that?
No, nothing of the sort.
Alright, so...
You considered using your power-up potion.
You can always use Edge, if I remember right, to advance, to go first.
But I have to wait for what's-his-face to slap the head jammer on before I start wiggling them around, so...
Yep, okay, so you catapult Ice up and over the wall, and he is actually I'm gonna have him do something. Let's do a quick groups test. And he got, are you seeing the roll? So he got 4 hits on his athletics test, so he actually, it's almost like you guys have been working together like this for a while, but he reacts very instinctively to being catapulted up and over the wall, lands on his feet, right next to Rigor Mortis, who is basically just standing there gaping at him, and slaps in his action, for one simple action, slaps the head jammer on Rigor Mortis, and for another simple action, basically, well, it's probably more of a complex action, basically slings the shotgun and grapples Rigor Mortis.
Oh, okay, so...
grappling is a a complex action, part of a attack.
Basically just grabbed Rigor Mortis in a bear hug. Alright, Deandir, you're next.
Wait, did he use a simple and a complex in the same action phase?
He did.
Isn't that illegal?
Not if you're the GM.
I think I can hold my action until a trigger, right?
Yes.
Or can I just drop out of initiative and then choose where to act eventually?
You can hold your action and trigger it when you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my action, and my action is going to be get the hell out of there. Rigor Mortis and Ice touch down in the sidecar or wherever they're sitting, holding onto each other while I drive like a crazy woman.
Sorry.
Boxer, what are you doing?
She's keeping an eye on the guard, but she's not hyper fixating on him. She's also keeping an eye on entries to the recess area. Basically any...
So you're basically holding your action too, right?
Yeah.
Because at the moment, this is happening so quickly that at the moment, nobody else has really reacted. And so, Grace.
Yes?
You're next on the initiative tracker.
Okay. So... what happened?
So, Ice was catapulted up over the wall. He landed with surprising grace and agility, and in one fell swoop, basically slapped the head jammer on Rigor Mortis and wrapped his arms around him.
And that's all that's happened so far, right?
Yep.
This time.
I mean, this is all happening in sort of a split second.
Okay. Well, Grace is going to, like, watching this through a pair of binoculars. I think she's just going to try and scoop him up. Ice, specifically.
He's still being levitated by me.
Oh, you still got him?
Well, I haven't dropped concentration.
Well, I mean...
I'm just
Where are
slower
you,
than you, I'm
sir?
sorry.
Where is the turn order?
I'm not on the turn order. I'm at 6. Below you?
Oh. I mean, I guess it doesn't change much of anything now, does it?
Veronica, Cecile was at
She
at
rolled
6.
a 6 for her initiative, yeah?
Can I see this guard here? Do I have line of sight to him, physical line of sight?
There we go. Yes, you see that guard. He's in the guard tower. He was just sort of sitting down, lounging back, smoking a cigarette, and his rifle had been set aside.
Okay. In that case, we are going to cast Levitate Force of 3 on him and give him a spin.
All right, go for it.
Ooh. Nice roll.
And I don't take any drain. Fucking thank God.
All right, you grab him and lift him up and spin him around. Is that what I understood?
Yeah. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
just... He's like... His foot is going to start glowing and he's going to get jerked suddenly off of where he's laid. And he's going to get spun around, like...
Yeah, imagine the guy leaning back in an office chair with his feet up on the desk and a cigarette in his hand. And you just grabbed his foot up off the desk and flung him around.
Hold on, I need to roll my drain. I didn't because... that's fine.
All right. He gives a surprised yelp and tries to grab for something to hold on to, dropping his cigarette.
Oh no.
Oh no, the cigarette!
Rigor
It's
Mortis
gonna start a forest fire.
goes next, and you can't see if Rigor Mortis is doing anything. And then the guard goes, and his action is basically he is surprised and he is attempting to hold on to something to regain his balance, get his feet underneath him. So his turn passes.
Roll his body and strength to see if he resists the levitate.
All right. I will do
How
that.
many does he need to get to resist it?
No, hold on, let me check the spell. It didn't apply to ice because ice wasn't resisting, presumably.
He only rolled a 1.
Oh, so probably doesn't matter anyway.
So this man has just been jerked up into the air, turned over on his head, and is currently spinning around. Like,
Yep, and he's yelling and desperately reaching around trying to grab a hold of something.
he's in the
This is the
garbage.
reason why people hate.
He's...
Grace,
No.
roll 66 for its force times 2.
What?
For the guard, it's versus force times 2.
Oh, okay. So that's 66.
Yeah, that's fine.
One hit.
Wait.
1 hit.
It says that you need 1 net hit to levitate the item away. It doesn't say the same for an unwilling being, but presumably it's the same roll.
So, does that mean his turn was consumed by trying to not get fucking ripped up into the air by this strange force, like grabbing at his feet?
No, it's just a opposed test to see if it works at all.
Oh, so...
It works.
Okay.
It works.
So it's Paul.
I just want to make sure we know the rules for the future.
Well, we resisted. I mean, we rolled resistance, and 1 hit. Who cares?
I think he cares.
Oh
The
no,
guard cares a
all
lot.
of the rules lawyers that listen eventually blame us.
That's why we disable comments.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it is now my turn, I assume?
It
We
is
just pretend they
Cecile's
don't
turn.
exist.
Cecile? Okay, important question. Because Ice has grappled this man, Matthew Vashon, if I levitate Ice, is Vashon going to come with Ice?
Yes, you clearly can tell that is Ice's intent here. He has a firm grip on Vashon,
Okay.
and the man is quite a bit smaller than Ice, so you expect no difficulty for Ice to be able to carry.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. In that case, I am just going to very naturally lift them back over and...
Are you going to accelerate them at the same pace
Oh,
that you
yeah,
accelerated
absolutely.
Ice into them? All right. So Ice is going to make one more quick test to make sure that he keeps the hold. And he has 5 hits, so he keeps a hold of Rigor Mortis. What was that last roll for, Grace?
That was spirit initiative. It's initiative.
So did you summon the spirit?
It's been with us this entire time.
Okay.
I guess I would roll it an astral initiative. But whatever. It's not doing
What was
anything.
its initiative? 13?
Yeah, 13. I wouldn't have told it to do anything yet. So it doesn't really matter.
Can you guys can see the turn tracker, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you see the little cogwheel?
No.
So that's one that I can add those guys.
You have the power, Paul. We cannot
Apparently only I have
democratize
the
it.
power. Apparently. That's unfortunate.
It'd be really nice if you could get a clerk to do this for you, you know.
Yeah. Maybe if when the podcast takes off, we'll have enough money to hire somebody to do that.
To do all the, like, the hard
Clerical
part
work.
of playing on.
Just sit next to me with a rules book and make sure I stay on track.
We hire a rules lawyer.
All right, so
We import one from Germany. We import one from Germany.
yeah, Cecile yanks Ice up and over the wall. He's got a firm hold on Rigor Mortis, who comes with him and yells loudly as he goes over the wall. And so, Boxer, you're seeing that. And so I guess anybody who has another initiative pass. Ice has another initiative pass.
I
Who
have
else has
2
another
more.
initiative? You have 2 more? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm still holding my action, I guess. So.
And Boxer,
No new people, so she's still just watching.
do you have another initiative pass too?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
She has another after that too.
You're watching the guy get spun around, fall off his chair, lose his cigarette, and then all of a sudden, Ice and Rigor Mortis come flying back out. And those of you observing can see that Rigor Mortis is shocked, surprised, and just now really starting to sort of struggle against Ice, who picks him up physically and sits him down in the sidecar. And it looks like Rigor Mortis is trying to get back out of the sidecar, and Ice is pushing him back in and yelling at him. And finally, you see Rigor Mortis you see the look of recognition on his face, and he just sits back down in utter shock. And Ice jumps on the back of the motorcycle behind Dare.
Helmet's on! And then I speed away.
All right, make another pilot groundcraft test for me, please.
I'm not gonna pitch this one. Dude.
All right, so tires squeal, and you take off through the traffic. The Topps Company, Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and/or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company, Inc. has granted permission to the Hard Knocks Sorority podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and/or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Hard Knocks Sorority podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. The music for the Hard Knocks Sorority podcast was written and performed by Trace Mineral. The Hard Knocks Sorority podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons License 4.0, meaning you are welcome to use the material as long as you give us credit.